This is our presentation on COVID-19 safe physical education. My name is John Bile, and while we're just before we get everything going here, the slideshow for this entire present video is on my website at canadagoforsport.com. So if you go to workshops there, you'll find the slideshow. All the information will be on there. In addition, every Tuesday on Twitter and Instagram, I post an activity, and sometimes I'll post another one during the week. So if you'd like to follow me on Twitter or Instagram at CanadaGo4Sport, every Tuesday you'll get another activity to supplement this video and other activities. So let's begin. Well, actually, maybe before that, you might wonder why I have a few scratches on my head. Well, that's because I have a patch on my eye. Why did I have a patch in my eye? Well, I collapsed videoing a couple months ago, and I have double vision now. It damaged my cranial nerve. Why did I collapse? I had too many blood clots in my lungs. Why did I have too many blood clots in my lungs? I had a cancerous kidney that was producing the blood clots. And that cancerous kidney was removed about a month or so ago, and I'm healing from that, and I'm choosing life. And really, this whole presentation is about choosing life for the students that we help. So let's go a little further to take a look. The thrust of this presentation is on how to do it, but if you want the theory for it, PHE Canada has a wonderful document on their website. Again, if you go to the PowerPoint presentation, you can simply click on this and it will go to their website, and you'll find the document there. So let's just take a quick look at the hows, or sorry, the what, the whys. And basically, PHE Canada is arguing that during COVID it's more individualized, more outdoor, more individualized fitness, and all those kinds of activities. So mindfulness, gymnastics, leadership activities as well. For the in-school learning, the main point here, and again, you can look at these more carefully another time, but the main point here is to try to keep our space away from each other and making sure that we are clean, so washing hands and so on. And in terms of the equipment, the main thing here is to try to individualize the equipment so that it's not passed from person to person, and to disinfect it between sessions. The other point here I would make is that I would have students participate in this disinfection process so that they acquire some responsibility for their activity and also knowledge about the COVID activities. And then in terms of spaces, primarily outdoor. If it needs to be in a gymnasium, then try to open the doors to get more airflow going through it as well. Try to see if there's other outdoor spaces, maybe tennis courts or golf courses or other places that are in your community that you could use as well. For the teacher, obviously protect yourself as well. Use the same procedures that you expect from your pupils, and consider wearing a mask as well if that works. And then the last one here is establishing this disinfection routine. And if you are in a gym and you're trying to control for space, one of the things to do would be to have maybe half of the students participating on the gym floor, the other half spread out in certain spots in the gymnasium area, and then they could be going through some kind of an exercise routine so that they stay engaged. Or you could also have them participate but just using their feet. So maybe it might be a game of indoor soccer. If the ball goes to the sidelines, they can also be part of the game, just not moving inside it. So let's begin with the hows. Well, a lot of team sports like broomball, field hockey, floor hockey, lacrosse, any scoop games, soccer, yofo, are all games that don't require hands to be in contact with the ball. So many of these activities would work pretty well because there's no sharing of equipment. However, I would probably use smaller teams, as PHE Canada suggested. So it might look something like this. You might have a soccer game where the O's are one team, the X's are the others. They got maybe 3 or 5 seconds to pass the ball, maybe even a second ball. And instead of having goalies that would stop the ball with their hands, you would play some pins there. So this would be a way where you could do soccer or lacrosse or broomball for that matter, or any other game that would be a team game with a target like a goal, but not having a goalie, but just having pins that you would knock down. Target games work really well for COVID. So basically they had their own equipment and they would do it. So let's take a look at one. Here's hula hoop horseshoes, where they try to get the hula hoop to rest over top of the pylon.
You're on.
Yeah, we're playing King Kelly.
All right, they're playing.
Oh, good.
There we go. They're playing horseshoes, but with hula hoops. He's pretty close. Not a ringer. Closer yet, and not quite a ringer. And no, it's not quite a ringer. One more shot. Obviously, the ringer would win it, and the one on top would win it first, and then to see who's closest.
So there again, you got the just individual, each player using their own hula hoops. And we can make that into a race. Actually, when I started this, they both start on the same side, but to separate them further, on hindsight, I would have one person start at the blue pylon, the other at this color pylon. Basically, it's just a race to see who can get to 5 first. So let's take a look at this one.
So it's a hula hoop horseshoe race. And basically, you take your hula hoops, roll them, try to get it over there. Each one that you get over top is a point. There you go, 1 point. 1-1. Away you go. We'll see who gets 5 first, baby. Yes, 2-1.
So you saw earlier she grabbed his hula
So we're
hoop.
at 4-3. Oh, almost get it. Oh, almost.
So that
4-3,
if you started them at
4-3.
separate ends, you'd have less of that.
Will she win it with this one? Not quite. Still 4-3. Oh, she got to go get hers. 4-3, 4-3. Here we go, and he's tied it. 4-4. It's a tie game. We're going for 5.
And you'll get the idea.
And oh, almost 5. Oh, almost 5. Oh.
Another way to go, another target game would be your disc golf, but in this case it's kick bar. We could use these innovative products by Gopher. So basically you kick the ball, if it goes underneath here, it will stay there as much the same way as with disc golf. Or you could just use objects in whatever area you have, and you could use hula hoops as well. So any kinds of objects like that. I'll just play this really quickly. So in this case, we're just using poles. So that very far pole
So
is
like
what we're
disc
using.
golf, they're trying to hit that last post there.
So
So they're waiting for their balls to stop.
pavement hasn't rolled too quickly. I'd probably do it on
There
grass.
you go. And now they're trying to hit that last one.
And he just
And B
misses
has-
it. Just goes down the
Just
hill.
missed it, I think. And Jay.
And because it's on pavement, it'll just keep rolling here.
Oh, I just missed it, I think.
And he kicks it on
Oh,
3.
Jay's. Yep, he's got it in 3.
And
Oh, they both parted it.
you could go on that way.
Now they're going to go across to.
Synchro ball is a game, another innovative game by Gopher. So basically everybody's separated here. And kind of like foosball, except they're playing it with these things. But again, synchro ball would be physically distanced.
Bring the popular game of foosball to life with Gopher's Action Synchro Ball. Teams of 6 work together to synchronize their movements and score in this life-size version of foosball. Players hold onto custom ABS poles with handles and move laterally in a designated zone to block, kick, and pass the oversized soccer ball. Keep your entire class engaged by adding players as barriers around the perimeter to keep the ball in play. Throw the
So
second ball
this,
into
yeah,
play.
so
Increase the
on the
action
side
and
would
scoring
work well for
opportunity. Set includes
extra
everything needed
players.
to play the game, plus activity instructions that provide multiple variations. Custom ABS poles with handles attached via push pin.
Disc golf as well. You could use these kinds of innovative game targets. Excuse me. Launch baseball. Each player holds a little launching pad, you could even use hand cloths for this activity as well. So the ball only touches those launchers. So in this case, one team
All right, nice
chucks
now.
it,
Go, run.
and they run around. They need to get
They're
it
going
to
for
a
3
goalie.
points instead of 1. The movement in 1. The defense is trying to catch it. Stop!
Oh, stop. So
Oh,
once they get it
there.
to the pitcher,
So the offensive
game
team
stops.
got 3 points there.
You could have different scores for different lengths. So obviously regular golf would work as well because we have our own equipment. And then disc golf, using the targets like such as these work well. So we'll just do a quick one of this.
Whoa.
And they're going to the
Here's a
target
nice,
out there.
target game to play.
And again, basically it goes in.
Golf with the portable Nova disc setups. Try to get in as few as you can. Make an interesting course.
So sometimes you need to, basically you need to get it in.
It's also a great COVID-19 experience because everybody just plays their own disc.
So to reduce any contact, again, you could just have it hit any part of that target rather than having to go in. And then you don't need the targets at all because we could also just use natural targets. So we're using the one tree here.
All right, playing disc golf, but we're picking different trees as
And,
targets.
oh, curved the wrong way.
Nice throw. So trying to get to the other tree there. So you can pick 9 different trees or picnic tables or whatever. A nice
Oh, we just missed it.
as well because we just use our own discs and no
Let's
target
see.
actually.
Let's just see if he gets it in 3.
So, great activity.
Hey, got it in 3. Even a game like volleyball would work for not contacting the equipment if we had these small little parachutes. So in this game, that's what they're doing, is they're passing the ball using the small parachutes.
Team launch using a delight ball initially, passing it to each team, passing it over. Then we'll go to the heavier balls.
Oh, they got it. The ball that comes with it is heavier, but you could start with a lighter ball. And of course, there's fitness activities. Many companies like Gopher also would have these warm-up activities that are all done individually, especially if they don't have equipment. The game I really love is Green Gopher Sport has these fit dots with each different activities. You could set them up like in a big square, like a giant Monopoly game. Players would roll the dice, and the first roll would tell them how far they need to go, and then you would pick a number. So let's just say all the activities we're going to do 5 times or 10 times or whatever many times you want. So when they get to the next spot and it's running, they might run a spot for 10 seconds. Or if they landed on windmills, they would do 10 windmills if 10 was the number that you were using. And we would do this activity, and maybe every time they get through, they get a little marker of sorts, and maybe the first team that gets 5 mark, or the first player that gets 5 markers is the winner, and the first player that gets 10 markers is the winner. So that works really well. So let's just do a quick show of this one.
Playing Exeropoly here.
So they're throwing the big
They start
dice.
at the beginning, they roll a dice at each station. They do the activity a specified number of times. We're using the number 4. When they go by go, they pick up a marker, and we'll see which player can get the most markers.
And then there's lots of ladder activities. And again, if you don't have a ladder, you could just simply use chalk to outline a ladder on pavement. If you're looking for some ladder activities, again, if you go on the website and go on to agility ladders, there's like over 50 different ways to use ladders. So the first set is just with your feet. So here's just one example. Every rung sideways. And then we can add hands. Now we're doing feet and hands.
Power push up. Next one, big step.
And then we'll add some equipment. So again, ladder activity, but using some equipment. So every rung while eating a Babinson bird. Well done. Oops, I'm sorry. A lot of tag games would work if you had the tagger use a noodle. Often we would switch the noodle, but obviously with COVID we wouldn't want to be switching. Developing obstacle courses with the use of all kinds of different innovative equipment, you could also make an obstacle course. So here's one sample obstacle course we made with some equipment. So squish steppers.
On the squish steppers, on the balance, some plyo jumps.
Plyometrics.
Spooner across to the beginning. Back on the balance beams. Then on the squisher steppers. And he's going back. And
so the only thing I wouldn't do there now with COVID is use the squish steppers, because then people would be sharing the handles. But lots of obstacle courses would work. Obviously dance is going to work because nobody needs to no one needs to do anything. No one needs to be touching equipment. Sorry, got a little distracted there. So players can just move about. One way would be your regular dance. So kind of everybody follow the same steps, as in don't sit still. That's your Ontario dance. So they're all doing the same activity. And then another form is more free movement dance made by the Groove, Groove Education. Again, Sierra Ontario and Groove Education have joined up on this one. So this one is swimming. And again, there's no right or wrong way to swim. We can simply just follow the instructions and do it as we wish.
Tricks and snorkel. So time to swim.
Okay, so here they're just doing a swim.
Your body cue is swim. Move in different directions.
And they're moving. There's not a right or wrong way.
Show me different strokes with your arms. Don't just do forward. Don't just do front crawl, back crawl, breaststroke, doggy paddle. Yeah. Swim with other friends as you go by them. Give them a little hello. Yes. All right, guys. Move number 2. Jump on your surfboard. Jump. Jump again. Jump again. Show me some tricks in the air. That's your brain cue. Different tricks in the air. Yeah, you can jump whatever you want. Ready? Back to the swim. Go.
I've often done stories as well with different movements in terms of body movement and body cues and some experiential thinking. A great resource for daily physical activity is Everybody Move from Sierra Ontario, published by Human Kinetics, and is available through Sierra Ontario, Human Kinetics, and Gopher. But it's full of ideas that you could do in classroom settings, many of them requiring no equipment. Simon Says, again, an activity where you don't need any equipment. You just follow the leader's instructions. And typically what I would do is I would have one side of everybody's on one side. If you don't follow Simon Says instructions, you would simply go to the other side. And the idea is to not move as many times as possible, so as few times as possible. So this is just the, well, let me just, okay, let's just play that one.
Simon Says, step one.
Simon says, put them down. Put them up. Whoa, put them up, you're over here.
So you made a mistake, you just go to the other side, and we just keep repeating. Simon Says can also get a bit more complicated. Simon Says, do previous. So I might say, Simon says, put your hands up in the air. Nobody does anything. Simon says, put your hands to the side. Then everybody would put their hands up in the air because that was the previous command. So I won't demonstrate that here. You've got that one. Simon Says, do opposite. So that one is a little bit more creative in the sense that you would do opposite. So I might say, put your hands on the front of your body. You would put the hands on the back of your body. Simon says, when you put your hands on your head, you would put them on your feet. So there's some creativity involved in Simon Says, do opposite. A yin yang yu. Basically, we go yin, which is on top of your head. Whoever's beside you would be the one that would be going next. If I did it this way, it would be this person. Then we go yang over here, and yu, we would point across to the yu. So here's a little sample of the game taking place. So if somebody pauses too long or does the wrong command. So again, basically if you get it wrong, if you say yin but you go down here, you'd be out. If you go yang and you're up here, it's supposed to be down here. Or if you go yu, you would also be out. So that's just done slowly. We could do it faster, or just do a quick show of it doing it faster.
So let's go with yin, yang, yu. Now if you're trying to go yin, yu, you're up. Like, or if you go yin or yang, or yu, you're up. So let's say if you're out, just sit down. All right? So if you're out, sit down. So we're going a little faster. I'm going to be the referee. I'll just start us off now, referee. I'm ruthless. So here goes. Yang. Oh, you're up. You're up.
That's a little faster. And yin yang yu back. This one here, basically when somebody goes yu, and you can go put your arms out, and it would go back to that person. There's lots of leadership games that also has social distancing. So this one here, we're trying to pour the balls in the bucket into there, and it would take some leadership skills to do that.
Okay, here they're carrying the bucket full of little balls, and they gotta tip the bucket so that it goes into there. And they have to hold the ends of the ropes.
And they got the general idea. Pretty good. Another leadership activity is picking up a beanbag that's got a Velcro on it and dropping it into a container.
Here they're trying to pick up a little piece, just with a little bit of Velcro, and then carry it over and put it in this container. And now they're going to try to shake it into that spot. If they get too much of the Velcro, it might not come off. There it goes. And there it is. Well
And
done.
you succeeded. Cooperative writing. There's no video yet, but again, you could do this. Everybody pulling and then having to create some kind of a shape or write a certain word. Architect, you could just do with some clothes pegs or so. One person develops a little design with a half a dozen or so clothes pegs and then tells the other player how to do it.
This is architect. One person has built an object on one side with the 5 clothes pegs and trying to talk the other person through with how to build it.
So it's really an exercise in clarity of instructions. And then there's numeracy activities, again, that are socially distanced. Obviously this conference wasn't at a time when there was COVID. But basically they would throw a certain number. If it's even, these are all even, these are all odd. And then you'd go for a little run, depending on who gets it. So here goes.
Odd evens. People against a wall is the even row. The people facing them are the odd row. The partners throw a number. If the total is an even number, the even person runs and the odd person takes the place of the even person. If it's odd, the odd person runs and comes back and they play again.
So again, no equipment. This one's ready, set, select. Might not use this one in COVID, but we're using basically playing cards and then we would exchange them. Social distancing activities. Sierra Ontario's got a resource fair and square and all social distancing, all COVID-19 safe. It's an 11-minute video, so I'm just going to finish this slideshow, and if we have time, we'll go back to it. Again, if you're looking for some resources, there's over 600 games, over 300 videos at my website, over 50 ladder activities. Go for Sport has lots of wonderful equipment and they have an unconditional 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if anything doesn't last as well as you'd like, please call us and we'll talk about replacement. As I talked about earlier, Pinterest, and sorry, I didn't talk about that one. So Pinterest, I've got over 600 pins, 23 boards. YouTube, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's got over 300 videos. And as I load them up, you'll be the first to get it if you subscribe. As I mentioned earlier, Twitter and Instagram every Tuesday and sometimes during the week at Canada Go for Sport. Love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments, you can also email me at johnbile50@gmail.com and I'd be happy to have a discussion with you. Thanks especially to all the wonderful people that I was able to video and the various conferences and to Go for Sport for their quality, innovative equipment. And again, you can download this entire slideshow at Canada Go for Sport conferences and workshops. Now we'll have an opportunity for Q&A and discussion. And if we have time, we'll go back to the Sierra Ontario slideshow. Thank you very much.